Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good afternoon, actually, I should say. Although it seems like it's never really broken into the day proper today. Grey, miserable, bit heavy, bit chilly, and a bit damp. But apart from that, all good. How the devil are you all? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're getting through the week sufficiently intact enough to be able to negotiate the rest of the week that's upcoming. I'm doing all right, thank you. I haven't been very active recently because I've had a lingering issue that's just not wanting to go away, but it's starting to feel better and get better and things like that. And as soon as I do start feeling better and getting better, I almost forget that I still have to be a little bit careful and patient and allow healing processes to happen, as opposed to force a certain time period into a smaller time period expecting the same result. Where have we heard that before? Anyway, yes, well, I'm doing all right, like I said, and just kind of getting over my last batch of medication and all that sort of stuff. I know you're probably not wanting to hear any of this, but it's my reality. It's where I've been for the last 2 months or so now, where I thought I was getting better, then something else came, and then something else came. So it appears, touch wood, and I'm touching my forehead, that this time round, ich habe die Kurve gekriegt, as the Germans would say. I've managed to stay within that curve, and not fly off it, as it were. Yeah, and hopefully I'm feeling much better. So I thought I'd just do a quick video just to sort of, do a bit of housekeeping, and while I was doing that, show you, for example, a building or two in the background. This here is the rear view of a building called Merrick Hall, which is on Old Christchurch Road between Boscombe and Bournemouth Central. That's where I'm walking back on right now, but I'm taking it very easy. But again, I'm not going to go into detail. Yeah, so, and I've been in this place a couple of times. It was used on a few occasions for certain events, and also things to do with linguistics, as in bilingual schools, English, German, Spanish, English, German, whatever, and all sorts of other things. And they used to have students come over here, they'd meet up here, and then there'd be like, a couple of days of events, and it would be done in multi-languages and this, that, and the other. Quite interesting. But what I have noticed is this place hasn't really been used much at all recently. I go past here quite a lot. It's the main route in and out of Bournemouth if you're going to Boscombe, for example. So it's beginning to look a little bit derelict around the edges, and it's beginning to look like, dare I say it, people don't care. But yeah, so I just thought it was an apt building to show you, not because it's anything spectacular to look at, but it is large. I mean, if you look at the parking spaces there, the car park spaces there, don't forget we're stood on tarmac here, so you can get rid of a few inches straight off the bat of ground below our feet. To demonstrate that point, I'll swing the camera around, and then you'll see behind me a large building. And of course, there's a wall there. It's got signs on it that says things like no ball games and stuff like that. Well, that all goes into a multi-story car park system that's below ground. And I have it on good authority that most of those are built on or within footprints of old existing foundations of buildings that they, since over the decades, kind of removed, revamped, whatever you want to call it. So you end up having things like this, which, though it looks new and modern, is actually a revamped old world building, believe it or not. That goes deep in the ground, that building. I'd have to go around the other side to demonstrate that better, but that is the case a lot here in Bournemouth. But anyway, getting back to Merrick Hall. So yeah, it stands around, red brick building. We are quite up elevated here. You can tell we're on a car park for a kickoff. So like I said, you've got to get rid of a few inches at least of height there. But yeah, when you walk around, I mean, you'll see this is often the case, that you'll have the concrete framing, as it were, around the bottom to indicate that that's where the bottom of the building was, and always was, right? No, not at all. Not at all. That is just cosmetics, as it were. This gives that away. Not very good at it, are they? Oh, look. It continues below ground. Oh, yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. Quite astounding. Quite astounding. But this is where the building really starts taking shape. So I had to stop there just to show you a little bit. This is quite a long building. I would say it's about half the length of a football pitch. Yeah, roughly. It's quite a big building. Long. And of course, as we know, this is just the top of it. Staircase there on the side, giving that fact away. Because if you trimmed away that amount of space all around this building, you went around the building once and created a trench like this, yeah, you would. And then you could probably go another level or two deeper and create a further trench and a further trench. You'll find a lot more of this building below the surface than we realise. But anyway, as you can see here, lots of quite nice brickwork, including the emphasis on the dome feature, whether that's indicating a transfer of power from one to the other, from one pillar to another, for example, or whether it's to indicate a knowledge of the realm that we live in, that they give away through their architecture, a little bit coded, i.e. maybe a firmament or dome of some sort that we might find ourselves below, because we're obviously not hurtling through space. That's one thing that's for sure. And if you think we are, then oh dear, you best pop off and do a little bit of research. But yeah, so you have all this stuff that you always see. You know, why not just build that flat across? Why have the dome feature in it? Why do that? Why add work if this is like just an old industrial building, for example, which is what we're always led to believe, that they were built in the 1860s, 1870s. The Victorians, of course, built it. But that's not true. It was revamped, repurposed, founded, if you like, and the dates that were given for them are those dates, not the dates of the actual constructions of these buildings. That is my claim. So, and here's the front of the building. Sorry, I just walked around there a little bit and didn't show you much in particular. But as you can see, again, a lot of emphasis on pillars and domes, and then the picture frame corner, as I like to call it, the roof thing on the top of it. You always see the square and compass signs everywhere. And of course, something that I spoke about only a couple of days ago with Amanda, and while I'm at it, Amanda, I'd like to take this opportunity to also thank you for coming around and helping me in my hour of need when you came to bring some things around for me, because I was immobilized, as it were. So I'll take the opportunity to thank you. Yes, but she mentioned these, of course, they are seen on the tops of most of these sorts of pillars and in the architecture. Sometimes they're upright or downwards or whatever, but it doesn't matter. But these vortexes, you know, you see them on all the architecture, whether Gothic or Renaissance. They all love their vortexes. So yeah, see what I'm trying to say? But anyway, so this is Merrick Hall. Worth checking out. I'm sure you could Google it or whatever. I'd like to do a proper video on this if the weather was nicer as well, because you could get up closer and yeah, under certain light this looks a bit different. You can see it a little bit, that it's not just plain grey brickwork. There's a bit of sandstone effect to it and stuff. It's quite nice. But yeah, so whilst having this building here, I thought I would just say hello, and yes, of course, say thank you, for example, to Amanda for helping me out. Thank you also to a couple of friends of mine who are in a band that I play in, that they came round. Amy and Matt, if you are listening or watching or whatever, then thank you to you two as well. I mean, I already have thanked you, but I'd like to say that again. Any opportunity possible to express those thanks because I am talking about the recent time where, you know, without you help from the likes of you, I would have been in real trouble, because I was getting help from nowhere else in terms of, you know, NHS and all that sort of stuff. I was hitting brick walls. But that's another story. I could do a whole podcast on that. Quite an eye-opener. But anyway, yes, so thank you to Amy and Matt. Thank you to Amanda for coming round and helping me out. Even though you were busy yourself and had a lot of stuff going on yourself, I do appreciate it. It won't go forgotten, that's for sure. And anybody else who I've forgotten, I can't remember now. But yes, I wanted to also say well done to you all. We went to the Flat Earth Social. I do believe it was a blast. Again, I couldn't attend because I was just feeling so rough. But it seemed, for all intents and purposes, and I didn't expect any different, to be a lovely evening. So good stuff. I just wanted to sort of wink and nod over and say nice one. I did follow a bit as well as I could, but I mean, what's the point when you're not feeling well? Then anything you're doing in that state of mind is not getting the, you know, the attention it deserves. So I gave it a bit of time. That's why I tend to sort of disappear a little bit and try and, you know, gather your strength and your thoughts correctly, and then you can approach whatever it is you want to approach and take a closer look at and enjoy. And Flat Earth Social is definitely one of those things. So nice one to Ian. Anybody got any questions regarding the Flat Earth Social? Ian Leahy is your man. Or of course you can drop me a line as well, and I can pass anything on to him that you want to know, or if there's anything I can answer, then of course I will do so. The Globli Lounge meetup will continue. They will happen, but I haven't fixed a new date yet. I did try one out one evening, but again, I felt so rough, I had to leave after an hour. Not like me at all. So, you know, it will get there. I'm determined to, and it will. So, but probably after the next Flat Earth Social. So I would imagine before March there probably won't be yet. I mean, we're already halfway through February almost. Time is just racing by. I keep saying it, but hey ho, nothing like stating the obvious, eh? Yes, so there was that I wanted to mention. Yeah, the Globli Lounge meetup will definitely go ahead. It's just that I haven't had a chance to really do it properly because of me being out of action, that was all. Apart from that, anything else happened in the news recently? Nothing I can think of. Oh dear. Yeah, this is not the video for that. I will bring out a new segment soon. I'll be having a little closer look at one or two little narratives that are being pushed through our beloved and self-financed media. It's just absolutely mental what's going on, is it not? Yeah. Anyway, I'll leave that there because otherwise I won't know when to stop. And I will continue my journey home. This is me signing off, as it were, from Merrick Hall. A building with, I would suggest, quite a few secrets. Yeah. So on this cold and miserable, very autumnal late afternoon, early evening here in Bournemouth, from Merrick Hall, one of many buildings around this whole area that, yeah, don't make sense together as a collective of buildings, and also don't make sense as individual buildings, but yet here they are. But one thing that certainly doesn't make sense is the official narrative of how they came to be. On that note, I thank you all for showing yourselves, as it were, popping by and saying hello or having a look. And I always appreciate you looking in to see what I'm up to. I will try and pick up a little bit of momentum soon. You know, give me a little bit of a chance to sort of, yeah, look after myself first and foremost, and then do the other stuff, which I'm going to be doing. So on that note, I will see you all soon. Some of yous, hopefully, much sooner. Until then, take it easy. See you later. Ta-ta for now.